Hi, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Did you just end the meeting and kick us all out?
Sorry, I think there was a glitch on Zoom. We just got technical support to fix that. Is it working on your end?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. I think Zoom just crashed. Can you guys hear and see the screen?
We can hear you, but we can't see the screen.
Okay, what
Okay,
about
okay
now?
now. Okay now.
Okay, because I feel like we were crashing a little bit. So is this better? Can you guys see everything?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we were on. Okay, so for everyone joining, sorry, we had a technical issue, but we are back on track. Okay, can you guys all hear and see the screen? Okay, perfect. So what were your answers for number B or question B? Question five. Correct. It is C. The main idea of the text is sharing chocolate with loved ones on Valentine's Day, which became popular after Cadbury came up with the idea of putting chocolates in boxes covered with hearts and Cupid. Okay, so if you guys all got that answer, give yourself a point. We will be tallying it at the end of class. Okay, so now we're doing a writing activity. Sorry, I think it's glitching with Zoom, but we just fixed it. So now we're going to go on to our writing activity. What is your ideal Valentine's Day? So with this activity, we're going to do 3 to 5 sentences, a paragraph. I want you guys to share what your ideal Valentine's Day is, okay? Type it in the chat. Make sure yes, 3 to 5 sentences, a paragraph, okay? And answer the question, what is your ideal Valentine's Day? And if you'd like to use some of the evidence from the text to support your answers, you can do that as well. Any questions? Type in the chat if you have any questions. Yes, Jesse?
What does ideal mean?
So ideal means perfect. What's your perfect Valentine's Day? So
Does it mean that
could you say that again?
Does it mean that how I celebrate this?
Yeah, what is the perfect way to celebrate Valentine's Day in your eyes, in your perspective?
So just how to celebrate and write it down?
Yes. What is the perfect way you would like to celebrate Valentine's Day? Is it with
Okay.
chocolate? Is it with spending family? Is it with spending time with your friends? What is your perfect Valentine's Day?
Okay. Thank you.
And make sure it is between the writing limit of 3 to 5 sentences, okay? If you'd like to go add extra, that is okay, but minimum is 3 sentences.
Mm.
Any other questions? So I'll give you guys 5 minutes. If we need more time, let me know, or if you guys need me to go back to some of the text, let me know. Also, try and incorporate some of the vocabulary words into your paragraphs, okay? So try to incorporate celebrate, spread, and magical in your paragraphs. That will give you guys bonus points for the end of class.
Teacher, can you put to the first reading page?
Yes. This one?
Mm. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Does anyone need any help with their writing? We have 2 more minutes left. Okay, I'm gonna change the slide. Does anyone need anything else? Okay, so let's start taking them up. Do we need more time or is everyone okay to take it up? Okay, so Serena, can you please read your response out loud for the class?
My idea of Valentine's Day is that my friends and I give each other small toys and candy during school. After school, my family and I would usually go to a nearby restaurant to celebrate. Then we might watch a movie that is magical, like Harry Potter. Lastly, we would have a good sleep.
Well done. Thank you, Serena. And can we have Brady please read your response?
The ideal Valentine's Day is probably spending time with family and friends and maybe watching some movies with popcorn. Another thing that would be good is exchange some gifts in maybe a restaurant.
Okay, well done. And has anyone else finished their paragraphs before we start editing?
I'm nearly finished, but I have adding some words.
Okay, no problem. Let's start editing Serena's then. Okay, so Serena, I would just like to edit your punctuation. Okay, so after or before, during, there should be a comma. Okay, so I'll fix it in red. My ideal Valentine's Day, and instead of is, we can say would be. My ideal Valentine's Day would be to spend it with my friends. This is how I would make your first sentence sound. And then you can say, we give each other toys and candy during school hours. So I'm bringing up your sentences and punctuating as well, okay? After school, that was a good punctuation. After school, my family and I would usually go to a nearby restaurant to celebrate. Okay, that is a good sentence. I'm going to highlight it. That's good. Then we might watch a movie. Okay, so then you can say, after we finish with the restaurant, we would watch a movie we would watch a movie like Harry Potter, which is a magical series. Just to include the word magical. Lastly, we would have a good night's sleep. So this is how I would edit your sentences, Serena, but otherwise you did a really good job. Okay, can we have Isaiah please read your response out loud for the class?
My ideal Valentine's Day is go out with my friends to play and watch a movie. We exchange toys or stationeries or candies or something else. We also play basketball together.
Okay, and do we have any other responses? Okay, so let's edit Brady's next. The ideal Valentine's Day. So you could say my ideal. There's how I edit it. Oh, we have some more coming in. Okay, before we start editing, let's have all the students read theirs. Jesse, can you please read yours? Go ahead, Jesse. Jesse, can you read your response out loud for the class?
I think the best way to celebrate Valentine's Day is all the people of the family get together and have a big meal. After eating, we will go to watch a film, and we also give. I didn't finish it here. I want to say we also give magical gift to each other.
Okay, perfect. I added that in for you. Great job. And anyone else want to send their responses in before we start editing? Okay, so let's go back to edit Brady's. So since the question said, what is yours? Remember to put the question into your answer as well when answering. So you could say, my ideal Valentine's Day would be spending time with my family and friends. And then break it up. We would, since we don't start a sentence with maybe, so we can say we could possibly watch some movies with popcorn if we don't have any other plans. So I'm adding these extra details so that the reader knows what you're thinking about, okay? So keep that in mind when you make your sentences. Another good thing would be, okay, so how I would say, or sentence would be, another idea that would be good to do on this holiday is to exchange some gifts, or maybe go out and eat at a restaurant. Any questions on the editing I'm doing on your sentences? Does this make sense to everybody? So I would say when you guys create your future sentences, make sure to be descriptive so that the reader knows what you are talking about. And another edit I would tell you is that when you answer your questions, use part of the question in your answer. So the question is, what is your ideal Valentine's Day? In every sentence, I used part of the question in my answer by saying my ideal Valentine's Day, ... And then you carry on with your sentences. Any questions? Does everyone understand this? Okay, so let's continue with Isaiah's. Okay, so this is good. My idea of Valentine's Day is to go with my friends to play and watch a movie. Good job. That's a good sentence. Don't forget to punctuate with a period. I put it in red. We exchange toys or stationaries or candies. Yes, Isaiah?
I have a period.
Oh, okay. I think it was covered by the emoji. Okay, yes, correct. Okay, so how I would fix this last sentence is we like, so I'll put this in red. We like to exchange toys. Instead of or, you can put a comma. Toys, stationery, comma, candies. Or you can even take out the last part. It's kind of redundant. We don't need that part. Stationaries. And then we use or candies at the end. We also play basketball together. That is a great few sentences. Good job. And then we'll go to Jesse's. I think the best way to celebrate Valentine's Day, so don't forget to punctuate this as. Okay? I think the best way to celebrate Valentine's Day, I'm going to put it in red so you understand to make them uppercase. And we're going to say, I think the best way to celebrate Valentine's Day, and this is how I would edit it. I'm going to put it in red, is to spend it with all my family members and have them get together to celebrate the holiday. Okay? When we get together, we would have a big meal, and after eating, we will go to watch a movie. And then, so remember, we don't start a sentence with, so what you could say is, we also like to give each other magical gifts when celebrating this holiday. Remember, more details, the easier it is for the reader to understand what you're talking about, okay? And always punctuate, use commas and periods. And we do not start a sentence with the word and, okay? So in many of your sentences, you started it with and. Try not to do that for the next time, okay? And
Okay.
so, does anybody have any questions on any of the edits I made so far? Does this make sense to everybody? Yes, Charlie? Do you have a question?
Shouldn't there be a comma after when we get together?
Correct. Thank you for pointing that out. Charlie, were you able to send in your paragraph?
No.
Okay, do you
I
mind
was using
sharing out loud.
Uh, what?
So the question was, what is your ideal Valentine's Day? Can you share with the class out loud?
Um,
So what is your ideal Valentine's Day?
we don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Okay. So if you were to celebrate it, what would you do?
Have a big meal.
Okay. Anything else from what we read from the story? Would you take anything out of that story and use it?
Um,
Like giving chocolate?
exchange
Yeah? Exchange.
exchange chocolate.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So let's keep going. We're going to do some grammar concepts. So with this, we will further explain our writing skills, okay? So do you guys know what synonyms and antonyms are? Have you heard of this before? Type in the chat if you have. Okay. Can I have do we have? Yes, yes. Okay. So Melinda, can you explain to the class what a synonym and an antonym is? Yeah, go ahead.
A synonym is something that is something that is the same thing but not the same word. For example, water and I mean like it's basically the same thing. It's just a different word for something else.
Okay, yeah. So synonyms are two words that have the same meaning or almost the same meaning. And what is an antonym? Charlie, you said, oh yeah, do you want to, yeah?
Opposite of synonym.
Correct. It is the opposite of synonym. So antonyms are words that have the opposite meaning. So here's an example. Agree and disagree are antonyms. Cold and freezing are synonyms. Does that make sense to everybody? Any questions? Okay, so I'm going to give a quick activity for you guys. I'm going to assign you all numbers. And with that, you're going to tell me if it's an antonym or a synonym. So we'll start with, let's start with Jessie. Can you tell me what number 3 is?
Number 3 is antonyms.
Correct. It is an antonym because these are two words that mean two different things. And Serena, can you tell me what number 4 is?
It is synonym.
Synonym. Correct. And why is it synonym? Can you tell me why?
Squallable means quarrel.
Yes, that is correct. So it means the same thing. Squabble is the same as argue. Okay, and number 5, Charlie, can you tell me what that is?
Number 5 is a synonym.
Correct.
Synonym.
Yes. And number 6, Brady, can you tell me what the answer is?
Antonym.
Correct. Melinda, can you tell me what number 8 is?
Synonym.
Correct. And Isaiah, can you tell me what number 10 is?
Antonyms.
Correct. Okay, so you can use words like this in your paragraphs to help you be more descriptive, okay? Okay. So now let's go on to learning about the colon. Can I have any volunteers who want to read the slide? Go ahead, Jesse. Can you read the slide for us?
Colons can be used to introduce an idea, explanation, or continue.
So explanation or continuation.
Explanation or continuation of the one that comes before the colon. The colon can be considered as a gateway inviting the reader to go on.
That word is pronounced inviting. Can you say that again?
Inviting.
Correct. Good job. Can I have Melinda read the next bullet?
Colons can be used to introduce a list. It is important to remember that the clause that comes before the colon must make complete sense on its own. If it doesn't, use a comma.
Thank you. And can I have Brady read the next bullet?
When you mention something that follows, that means that you're saying information that is coming up right after. You can use a colon before introducing the information.
Thank you. And can I have Serena read the last bullet?
Use a colon in titles that express two parallel lines. The words on either side of the colon should be able to stand on their own.
Perfect. Thank you for reading, guys. Okay, so a colon. Have you guys used this before in any of your writing? You can type it in the chat or shout it out loud. This is the first time you're hearing of the colon? Okay, so you guys have used this before. Okay, so for those of you who haven't, I can explain it. Does anyone have any questions? So a colon is used to introduce an idea or an explanation, okay? Does everyone understand that? Okay. And you can also use it to introduce a list. So here is an example. So colons can be used to introduce an idea, explanation, or a continuation of one that comes before the colon. So it's considered as a gateway, inviting the reader to go on. Can I have Charlie read the second part and the examples?
The first part tends to be an independent clause, complete thought, while the second part tends to be a dependent clause, incomplete thought. Example 1. Our teacher wants just one thing from her students, that we do our best. Example 2. There is one thing that mankind cannot live without, hope.
Okay, so are you guys able to see the colons that are being used? So the colon is being used before a complete thought. So the teacher just wants one thing from her students, colon, that we do our best. There is one thing that mankind cannot live without, colon, hope. Do you guys understand? So the first one is a complete thought. We understand what the teacher wants, and it's expressed after the colon. Same thing with this example. They're saying that mankind cannot live without something, and then they explain that after the colon, which is hope. Does this make sense to everyone? Any questions? Shout it out, type it in the chat. Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys write your own sentence using the colon. Okay? Everyone understands, right? So create your own sentence and use a colon in that sentence. Also, guys, I'm extending the class for another 5 minutes because of our technical crash. So once we complete these sentences and take it up, we should be good to go, okay? If you guys do have any other classes, you are free to go. So any question with the sentence and the colon? Are you guys all able to create your own sentence? And you guys can use the examples to help you. And try to use some of our other editing skills that you learned and some of the synonyms or antonyms in your sentences as well. Does anyone need any help? Okay, let's take it up. I see some answers coming through. Okay, Melinda, do you want to read your sentence out loud to the class?
There are many things that a flower can't live without. Soil, sunlight, and water.
Well done. That is a perfect use of the colon in a sentence. Anybody else want to share? Okay, Jessie, can you share your response? We can't hear you. Are you speaking?
The best thing I did is help others.
Okay. And why did you choose to put the colon there?
What?
So the colon is after is, and why did you put it there?
I just think it's the way best.
Sorry, could you repeat that one more time?
I just think put it there is good.
Okay, so the colon doesn't actually work in this sentence, okay? Because you don't need the colon. So the sentence is good on its own like this. The best thing I did was help others. So that's an independent sentence on its own, okay? Remember,
Okay,
when you put a
so
colon, the first sentence is independent and then another thought comes along with it. So do you want to try that again?
yes.
Yes? Okay. And, okay, we have another sentence that I would like to share to the class. Brady, could you please read yours?
Uh, I was going to have a birthday party in my house. There was a problem. The house was too messy.
Okay, so this too can be two different sentences. I was going to have a birthday party in my house, period. Okay. And then you can say there was a problem, and the colon comes after. The house was too messy. Okay. Great try. But you just misplaced a colon. Okay. Isaiah, do you want to read yours?
I'm going out to watch a game with my friend, but there's a problem. There are no good seats left.
Correct. That is a great way to use it. So this is another good way to use the colon. I'm going out to watch a game with my friend, but there's a problem. Colon, there are no good seats left. Okay, good job, guys. So that is all for today's class, and we will pick up where we left off with grammar next week. Okay, so for homework, just review the colons and the vocabulary words, and then we will pick up with our grammar and the colons next week. Thank you all for joining, and that is all for today.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.